I'm Helen Campbell, DG Interpretation, European Commission. I'm going to talk about the educational effects of soap operas. Soap operas, which I'm sure most of you will have seen at some stage. Even I have, although I must admit that I have never yet become addicted to any of them. And I was interested to hear about the educational role of some soap operas. It isn't the first thing you think of when you remember names like EastEnders and Coronation Street and many others. But it's also true that many people do watch soap operas. All sorts, every range, from someone perhaps highly intellectual to somebody who has almost no formal education. Everybody watches them, and they can be very positively used in passing on serious and useful messages. As a result, governments, NGOs, TV channels, and others have been collaborating and working together to try to pass on useful and positive messages to their viewers. Messages that might deal with health questions, social welfare issues as well, domestic violence, incest, and other questions that are often difficult to discuss and probably difficult also to pass on in any sensible way, and very difficult as well for people to accept. There are also stigmas attached to many of these issues, and so building them into a story, making it an entertaining story, will perhaps allow some of the negative effects, stigmas attached, taboos attached to some of the issues, and the message passes. There are quite a few examples of this too. For example, in Nicaragua. Now there, an NGO from Seattle, based in Seattle, plus a local non-profit group has been working together. They have been putting health messages gradually into the soap operas produced, and especially focusing here on domestic violence and sexual abuse. As I said before, there are always taboos associated with these subjects, and so putting them into the soap opera is one way of airing the subjects and also of showing how people might be able to deal with them better. Another example, a quite different one too. In Vietnam, the Ministry of Agriculture and partners working in the field as well have been using educational entertainment, again, to pass on a message. They've been putting together a series of programs with a theme in the way of a soap opera, but on the environment, treating the environment correctly, and their target audience is actually rice farmers, of whom there are very many. It isn't, however, a lecture that is being delivered, it is a story, and in the story we have a big motive, an underlying leitmotif even, protection of the environment. May not perhaps sound very amusing and entertaining to everyone, but it's been so popular in Vietnam that the programs have actually won some awards. Now, there are lots of different ways of passing a message on. Personally, I think that if you try to lecture people and tell them what they should or shouldn't be doing, or what they are doing wrong and what they are doing right, you won't perhaps achieve very much. But build your lesson or your message into a decent form of educational entertainment, and I underline entertainment. That way you probably will be listened to much more. Thank you.